Hello, everyone. I'm Cedric from Creator Solutions team, your host and speaker today. Thanks for taking the time to join this webinar as we talk about the usage of environments in Zoho Creator. So before we get started, I would like to inform you a few points. All the attendees in this webinar will be on mute throughout the session. You may ask your questions in the question tab on the right side of the Zoho Backstage. A complete recording of this webinar will be emailed to all the attendees, and we kindly request you to participate in the post-session survey. We really appreciate all your feedback. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the topics which we'll dive into this webinar. Firstly, we will talk about what is environments, and followed by why it is necessary in Zoho Creator. And then we'll have a quick demo on how to add applications to environments and how to publish apps to stage and production. And in the second part, we will discuss about the managing development and stage environments, followed by a complete demonstration of the management. And finally, we'll conclude by discussing the frequently answered questions of environments, followed by a final Q&A. So before we get started about environments, let me provide you a quick idea of Creator. Zoho Creator is a low-code platform which is engineered to help businesses build scalable custom business solutions faster than the traditional methods. So C6 is the latest version of Zoho Creator, and with the new Creator version, we have simplified the development process by using the most advanced low-code tools to maximize our users' benefits. Let's take a look at what is environments. Environments is a platform which provides us the way to effectively manage application development lifecycle inside a restricted domain. Apps are created in the development mode, they are tested in the stage mode, and made accessible to the end users or your customers in the production mode. So Zoho Creator is a platform which provides us the best way for the ADLM process, which helps businesses focus on the entire software lifecycle. So using environments, developers can now communicate in real time, track code changes, and guarantee that their application is stable before releasing it to their customers or the internal organizational users. So this is one of the most important additions to the newest version, and it enables the developers or the concerned team to run their applications in the environments of their choice. Adding to it, Creator's previous version, C5 and C4, had a feature called Sandbox, which supported development and production mode separately. However, now through environments, which we would call an upgrade, has three stages. So we would like to call it as the evolved version of Sandbox with all the new Creator features. So now let me show you how environments looks like in the Zoho Creator dashboard. As you can see here, this is the Zoho Creator admin dashboard. And in the left panel under deploy, you can see environments. So in the environments page, you will be able to take a look at the list of apps under development, the list of apps which have been published to stage, and the applications which are under production. So you may also add applications to environments from here and publish apps and look at the version history. So now let's talk about why environments is necessary in Zoho Creator. Environments as a feature, it helps us to ease the app's development lifecycle process. It helps us to disentangle it into different stages, which makes the work easier for the team. It also makes easier to evaluate each part of the stage and simplifies the work to be carried out by the next stage and the consequent stages. So using the environment, developers who would like to launch their solutions can launch it in an environment of their choice, whether it is a development mode or it is the stage mode or the production based on the readiness of the solution. Furthermore, it also supports role-based access to help business users simulate the user experience validation. Let's take a look at this use case where we have four stages of a development process. So let's say a team of an organization is building an IT asset tracker, and we can start from the right part of this image, which is the blue circle, where the development team is building the feature required for the IT asset tracker. So once they complete the feature development, they can push it to the testing team inside the red circle, who will evaluate whether it is acceptable for the users who are going to use it. And they will push it to the next team, which is the project manager or the project admin, who will then finally submit it for release to the stakeholders. So all these processes will be to and fro. The communication will go from the development to testing and from the testing to development. And similarly, the stakeholders can send the feedbacks directly to development and so on. Hence, this provides us a robust way of maintaining and managing the ADLM process in any type of organization. So let me now list the benefits of using environments in Zoho Creator. It is the best possible way to ensure that the final app which the team is developing is of high quality and meets the customer's requirements. So the first point states here that every stage in environments is supposed to feed into the next or feedback into the previous. Hence, this way, environments provides us the flexibility needed in complex application development. So by this way, the developers can add features continuously or make changes without disturbing the existing live app, which is in production. Second point, environments ensures that the software undergoes precise testing before its final deployment. So this is now directly proportional to the third point, which is it helps us reducing unnecessary costs during the development process. So since the development team is able to do precise testing in the development mode of the feature, and in using the testing team, they will be able to find the bugs or loopholes of the customer's use cases in the stage mode, and hence it provides us the effective ADLM process, which helps us to reduce the unnecessary costs. So during development time itself, the developers can estimate the time and cost involved and predict their costly mistakes. And final benefit is it increases the visibility on all aspects of the complete project lifecycle to all the stakeholders involved, like the super admin or the admin and project manager involved in the development process. So they will be able to monitor all the stages, which feature is in development, which feature is being tested by the team, and what are all the changes which has been released into the production mode. So hence we can conclude by saying that environments provides us a robust platform to continue development in the backend while the users go on with their live business process. So here we are now going to take a look at how to add applications to environments. Please note that the creator apps aren't added to environments by default. The user should manually add it to creator. You can enable environments for an app during its creation or after its creation. While creating an app, you can check the enable environment option, or after creating an app, you can navigate to the environments page under deploy. And from that, you can select the app for which the enable environments will be selected, and you can add it to the environments. So let us now have a demonstration of adding applications to environments. So this is my Zoho Creator admin dashboard, and I'm going to navigate to environments and show you how the interface is. So this is an app which is currently under production, and I haven't published any changes to stage it. And since this app has been added directly after its creation, the production mode is available here. So first, let's start by creating during the creation of the app case. So I'm going to click Create Solution, and I'm going to select the Creator Solutions. I'm going to create an app from scratch. Let's name this as Test Environments. And so this checkbox is what I was showing in the image. Once it check this option and click Create Application. The app which is being created will be automatically added to environments. So let me just open the environment section in another tab. Here it is. So once the page completes loading, we will be able to see that the environments, the apps is already added to environments. So this is how you may add an app to environment directly during its creation. Or if you would like to add an app after it has been created and the development process is already ongoing, you can select the application from the Add Application button. You can select which app you would like to add. So let me just add this IT Asset Tracker. And once I click Add Application, the app would be added and the development creation is in progress. So the development creation means the backend of the app, the development edit mode creation is currently under process, since environment and non-environment apps have a little difference in the development's edit mode. So once this is completed, let me show you the difference. Okay, so since we already have the test environments app, let me show you the difference between an environment enabled app and a non-environment app. So for that, let me go to solutions and I'll open another application which is not under environments, this LMS. So this is an application which is not under environments, and hence the development mode of this app would directly lead to the changes in the production mode. So in the right side, as you can see, you have accessed this application. So the header doesn't have separate stages like development stage or production, but it has a single stage, that is the direct production mode. However, when we come to the test environments app we just created, so let me create a new form here. Let me use this template and the form is created. Yes. So now, as you can see here, this is the difference I was talking about. So we have three live modes. The first live mode is for the developers to test their changes. The stage live is for the testing team or the team concerned. And the production live is for the end users of your business. So you can click on Access Development Live. It will open us the development live mode of the app. And in the header, you can see, like near the app name, you'll be able to view the development mode. So similarly, for the stage, you will be able to see stage mode, and for production, you will not be able to see anything because it is the live mode of the app, and it will be similar to how this non-environment app looks like. I hope you understand how to add apps to environments, and I believe the app which we added should be available. Yes. So since there are no changes, it's showing us no changes available and it is successfully added. So let me just help you with a few points you should remember while adding the applications to environments. Firstly, developers will be removed while adding the apps in environments. So this is a point which we make note of, because adding the users to your applications as developers is not the same configuration for environment and non-environment apps. Let me show this to you for a better understanding. So let me go to users, where we can manage all the apps users. So let me select this user and let me try to add him as a developer to an application. When I select a non-environment app, this LMS app, I can just directly add him to the app. So he can do the changes and he can check the changes in production. That's it. So they will not be able to have separate access for the stages. However, when I select an application which is an environment enabled app, let's say this test app which we just created, you will be able to provide them access for stages separately. So you can check this box so that they can have access only for the development mode, that is the backend. Or if you would like to provide them access to publish the changes from the development part to the stage part, you can check this box. Similarly, if you would like to provide them access to the stage mode, so they can check the stage changes which have been done, and if you want to give them access to publish the changes to the end users, so if that is someone who is responsible for making all the changes, you can provide them all the access and you can add them successfully. So hence, since the changes, the configuration is different for the developers when adding them to environment and non-environment apps, we are forced to remove the developers when a non-environment app is added to environments. I hope you all understood the first point. Now, second point. Okay. Environment creation can be done simultaneously for a maximum of 3 apps. So you may add multiple apps when it comes to adding the apps from your solutions dashboard to the environments. However, the environment creation, the development environment creation will be done simultaneously only for a maximum of 3 apps. For the other apps, it would kickstart after the development environment creation is done for the first 3 apps. So we would suggest you to do it starting from the first 3 apps, and you can do it by three if you prefer it to be. Third point states that you can add a maximum of 10 apps. So adding a maximum of 10 apps means that you can select up to 10 apps when you want to add them to environments. However, as we just saw, environment creation is simultaneously done for the first three or a random 3 apps. So you will have to wait until the development environment is created for the other applications. And finally, managed apps cannot be added to environments. So managed apps in the sense, it is the applications which you're installing from the Zoho Marketplace or the applications which are being published to your workspace from Zoho Developer Zone. So these apps will not have an edit mode and hence they can't be added directly to environments. And moreover, it is important to note that in certain cases, the apps will not be added to environments until they have successfully completed certain validations. If the apps pass through these validations, the development environment will be created and the app would be ready for development. Moreover, there may be instances where the development environment will not be created automatically and the user will be forced to create it manually. You will have an option to create the development environment and you can click on it and create it. So this happens in cases if you are adding like 6 or 7 apps directly to the environment, and hence, as we discussed, simultaneously the environment creation can happen only for 3 apps, and hence for the other apps, you may have to manually create the development environment. So now let's discuss about how to publish applications to the stage version. So as portrayed in this flowchart, you can go to environments section, select the publish button and click publish to stage. And as a third step, we can select the app which we are going to publish. And once you select the app and go to the next page, you will be able to see the list of changes, the modifications, everything you did in the application. From there, you can select these changes and you can go to the next page where you can set the version details and you can click on publish. And once publish is initiated, the development mode and stage, involved apps in stage mode will be logged. And finally, you can check the status of the publish under the environment section. So let me just show you a demonstration of how we can publish apps to stage. So let me go to the environments page. And okay, so since we have the changes available status, it means that we have done some changes in this test environments app. We installed the default form template. So I'm gonna publish the test application to the stage mode now. So the first step, we will click publish, select publish to stage, and we'll select the app which you are going to publish. We'll click proceed. So now all the modifications that have been made in this specific application is listed on the staging page. The last modified time, when you select any component from the list of changes, the last modified time of the component will be available. And you can select the components which you would like to publish. And whenever you select a component, all the dependent components of that specific change will be automatically selected. So for now, I'm going to select all the components. And also you can see here that This is an added change. The nature of the change which we have done will also be visible when you are selecting the list of changes. So now I'm going to select all the changes from here. And in this page, you can also take a look at the number of components which we have selected. So it is listed here in the bottom left corner. And that's it. From here, we can click proceed and we will go to the next page where the version details has to be set. The version information page will be shown and we can set the title of the version. For each package, we can set a title and you can specify the version title like as per your requirement. For example, I'm going to name it as test version, the description as test changes. The next step, you can set what is the type of version it is. If it is a major type, the system changes the version from 0 to 1 or 1 to 2. It increments it by 1.0. However, if it is a minor version, it increments it by 0.1. So you may specify it as per your preference. So for now, since we just added a single form with a few workflows, I'm going to set it as a minor change. And to send email notifications regarding the publish, like to the admins or the developers, you can select a maximum of 3 people from the list of the administrators and the application developers in the account. So it is recommended to have at least 1 user since this feature will be made mandatory in our future updates. So click publish and the publish is initiated. The development mode will be locked now since the publish is ongoing, as you can see here. And the status is shown as the publish is in queue. And since we just made a few changes, I believe it should be done in a few minutes. So once it is done, we will be able to see the stage version of the app and we can see all the changes we published from the development to stage. So as you can see here, the publish was in progress and it has been successfully completed. So that's great. So let us go to the edit mode and let me just do a quick, okay, you can go to the stage mode from here. As you can see, the publish to stage is successfully completed. The changes which we made in development is now available in the stage version. And we can see that there is a stage version from the URL and the application header near the app name. So this is how you publish an app from development to stage. So let's now talk about how can we publish an app from the stage version to the production version. So the steps involved are, we will go to the environments, select the publish and publish to production. From that, we can select the version of stage mode, which we want to make it live for the end users. So we can have different versions, like multiple versions. And a version is a collection of apps that the changes has been made to them, which have been made to the stage, like which have been published to the stage at a certain time. So I will explain it to you in the demo. And here we can schedule the publish or we can publish it instantly. And we can click publish button and the publish will be initiated. So let us have a quick demonstration of how to publish apps from stage to production. Let me just go back to the admin dashboard. And since we already have this test application in the stage mode, I'm going to use it to publish it to the production mode. So I'm going to go to publish, select publish to production. And as you can see here, this is the version available for the applications. You can filter the versions based on all the applications which are added in environments. This test version is the only version available. Have the stage version published, we are only able to see this app version. And you can have maintain multiple versions and you can choose which version you want to do it. So I'm going to select this version. And once you select it, you will be able to see the number of component changes in that specific version. You can click on proceed and you will go now to the version details page where you can see the version details. Like this is the version we are doing, the description which we entered. And from here, you can either publish it now immediately for the users, or in case your customers are in a different time zone, or if it's in a later time you want to do the publish during the non-business hours of the company, you can then click publish later and choose the date and time on which it should be published. And you can also select the time zone if the customers are in a different time zone. Yes. So similarly, you can also set up the email address of the developer or the admin here to send the email notification regarding the publish. So for now, let's click publish now. And as the message states here, the application will be set to maintenance mode and will be inaccessible till publish. So the application in the sense is the production mode of the app. So now let's click publish and the publish initiated. Let me go back to the environments page. You see here, the publish is in queue and we can expect it to be done anytime soon. So this is how you can publish an app from the stage environment to the production environment. As you can see here, the publish is completed successfully. So now let me go back to the edit mode and just click on the edit mode of the app. I can access the production mode from here. And here it is. The production mode is available, and this is the mode which will be available for the end users, the application users, or the portal users. So I hope you'll have an understanding of how we can publish an app from stage to production. So we also have another section here, which is the version history. So when you publish apps to the stage environment, each package of apps and their changes is referred to as the version. We just saw that. So the version history displays all the published versions as well as the app changes we made along with the publish. So this is a reference for viewing all the previous versions of an app and their changes. The versions can be filtered using the app name or what type of version we did publish. And when viewing the list of changes, you can also click on it and see the last modified time and the nature of that change. So this would be a good tool to refer the previous versions, and you can check the nature of the development process in the chronological order. So now let's start discussing about the locking mechanism, which is an important part in Creator. So the locking mechanism means, so when you publish an app from the development to the stage mode, the app in development and the involved apps in stage get locked. It means that you cannot do further development until the publish is complete. So let's focus on this part of this image, that is the publish to stage. Under the publish to stage, as you can see here, when you select an app and click on the publish button, like we are starting the publish process. So once the publish process is started, the selected application. So in some cases, we can publish two apps simultaneously. So it shows that the selected and its dependent apps will be locked. Similarly, when the publish is initiated, that is when we initiate the publish process for that specific app, the development environment will be locked and the involved apps in stage also will be locked. So once the publish is complete, whether it's a success or a failure, then after its completion, the dependent apps and the selected app will be unlocked, and it's the same in the stage mode. So you have to make sure that the team is notified when you're doing the publish so that they won't be confused on why they aren't able to do the development. And also one other thing I want to stress here, like if a person is staying on the publish page for more than 5 minutes, the page will auto refresh and they will be redirected back to the environments page so that the development can progress smoothly. So you can't waste no time when we are doing the publish. Similarly, when you are publishing an app from stage to production, only the production mode gets locked, and this happens only after the publish to production is initiated successfully, so that the users will not have any kind of issues when you are making the publish process, but only after the publish is initiated, it will be locked. And once the process is completed, whether it's a success or the delete or a failure, the publish will be unlocked. So I hope you all have an understanding of the locking mechanism now. And these are the list of statuses which the apps go through in environments. So the first stages, the first three stages here define the status names of when the development environment is not automatically created for an app. So if it's not automatically created, the state would be like development not created, and you would have an option, create option to create it manually. And once you click on that option, the development creation is in progress stage will be shown. And once it's completed, the app will be ready for development, which is the third point. And as we just saw in the demo, we will have the changes available whenever we make a new change, which is not published to the stage version yet. And we will have no changes available if all the changes in development are pushed to the stage. And in case there is an error while creating the development environment, it will show as error while creating environment, and you can click on it and see the reason for the error, which you can modify it and again initiate the development environment creation. So go to the next slide. Here we will discuss about the points to remember during publish. The first point states a maximum of 2 publish processes can be initiated at a time. So here what we refer as the 2 publish processes is that one from publish to stage and another from publish to production. So this means that if one app is undergoing a publish to stage process, the developer or the user cannot initiate publish to stage for another app at the same time. So only one publish per environment. You should make note of this. So also, as I just informed, if the user becomes idle during the publish initiation, the logs will be reset after 5-minute threshold. So you can publish an app A from development to stage, and you can publish an app B from stage to production. So that is what the maximum of 2 publish processes refers here. The second point, one can couple a maximum of 3 apps together in a publish process. So you will be able to select up to 3 apps and you will be able to initiate the publish process for them. If the developer has the permission to app 1, and if the user tries to publish a package that has both app 1 and 2, it will throw an error as the user does not have permission for app 2. So let me make this with an example. Let me explain this with a small example. You have a developer called Kevin, and Kevin is a developer for app 1. So he is working on this app, and you have assigned him as a developer only for app 1. However, Kevin has been using lookup fields or custom functions from app 2, and now app 1 is dependent on app 2. So he has added these lookup fields in the form, and he has called those custom functions from app 2, which is an environment enabled app. So now when Kevin tries to publish the app from development to stage, the system will throw an error since Kevin only has the access for the app 1. And this publish requires the dependent change, that is the app 2 change, also to be moved to the stage version. Hence, the system will throw an error. So you need to make sure that the person concerned who is going to do the publish has all the apps accesses which is involved in the app development process. Final point is creator cannot hold more than 30 versions at once across all applications in the stage environment. So since we just saw that we can create multiple stage versions, we discussed about it some time before. So we can create multiple stage versions in case a stage version is not ready for pushing to the live. You can create the developer can change them, they can modify the changes, they can develop it more effectively, and they can push it as a new stage version like v1.0 or 1.1 or so. And however, if you would like to create the stage version, the 30th stage version, you have to make sure that at least one of these stage versions is pushed to the production mode. So after it is pushed to the production mode, you can continue to create more stage versions at the time. So that is the limitation which we are looking at here. So here we are now going to discuss about the managing development and stage environments. So we have come halfway now. So in this chart, as you can see, these are the actions involved in the management of development and stage environments. So the development environment has the edit mode, and you can access the development live, the settings and the logs. And the stage doesn't have an edit mode. It has all the other actions, the access, settings, and the logs. So here you can see the 4 actions involved with the development mode of the app. So the first point is it opens the applications edit mode, which is the development edit mode, the backend. The second point, the access button leads us to the development live mode of the app, where we can access the app and we can see the development in the label top near the app name in the top. And you can also select the demo users, which we'll discuss shortly. And the third point is the settings, where you can add demo users for user role specific testing. And finally, you have the logs. And logs are nothing but it is a documentation of the history of the form actions, schedules, integrations, and payments executions in an app. So this can be used for debugging purposes mostly. So the admin or the developer can take a look at the logs so that they can test why in case of any error, they can see the details and they can proceed to test it. So now let us discuss about the settings of development mode. So the settings has the option to add a demo user. A demo user is nothing but a test user you can create. So you can verify the permission set assigned to the user, which will be available in the live mode. So you can verify by selecting the demo user in the live mode and check how the experience looks like for the live users, that is the end users. So you can select a name from the list available. You can select the type of demo user, whether it is a portal user or the application user. And you can select the permission set, which you are going to assign for the specific user. And you can also set the role from the backend. And once the demo user is created, they will be available in the live mode. So other than that, we have the option to configure notification settings in the development live. So we have mail notifications, SMS notifications, and push notifications in Creator. So sometimes the development environment will be only used for testing. So we may rarely need notifications to be triggered while the app is being tested. So this section allows you to maintain the email notifications, whether you want to disable them or send them to the logged in developer or send them to a selected user who is managing the notifications, or you can just leave it as per the app specific workflows. Similarly, you have the disable SMS option and app specific workflows configuration for SMS. And for push notifications, you have all the options available as per the email. So similarly, for stage environment, we have the 3 actions: the access to directly lead to the access mode, and the settings, which leads us to the demo users for the stage, and the logs, which leads us to the documentation of the form action schedules and so on. And similarly, for the settings of stage mode, we have the demo user creation with the select name, select the type of user, select the permission set, and select the role. And similarly to the development mode of the app, we can set the email notifications to disable the emails or send it to the login users or leave it as app specific. And for SMS, we have the disable SMS and app specific configurations. And for push notifications, we have all the options similar to the email notifications. So let us now jump to the demonstration of managing development and stage environments in Zoho Creator. So as you can see here, we have the test environments app. So I'm going to use this to provide you a demo. So before that, I'm going to create a permission set and I'm going to edit it to make it look differently. So this is a test app we just created. I'm going to the settings. I'm selecting the user permissions, which is the end user application user permission. Going to this read option, and I'm going to give access to this form. However, I'm going to remove access for the report. Okay, so I'm going to update this permission set, and we have already a role here, a CEO role. So if you want to add more roles, you can add it from here. For now, I'm just going to the development settings. Click on the 3 dotted lines and go to the settings of development. And here it is, This is the page where you can add demo users. You can select up to, you can add up to 5 demo users. These are the usernames of the 5 demo users you can add in environments. So I'm going to select demo user 1, and here is a type of user, whether it is an application user, that is an internal user, or an external portal user. So for now, I'm going to select internal user and select the read permission set and provide them the CEO role and click on add. So now they're added here. I click done, and I'm going to go to the development environment. So this is a stage. We just go to the development environment. So here it is, the development mode. And here you can see that there is an option called view as myself. So this is the access which is for the developer who is checking the development live mode, or the administrator or super admin. However, if the developer would like to view the user experience of the read permission set for the CEO role, they can just click on this demo user. The app will refresh, and as you can see, the changes has been done. Now, this is the user experience for the role-based user, like that is for the CEO with the read permission set. So they will not be able to access the report. However, they can access the form. So you can add multiple demo users from here for both the application user and the portal user, and you will be able to see the changes and the experience of each and every specific permission set assigned to the role. So I hope you understood now. And similarly, we have the notification configurations from here. And as you can see here, you can select any one of the options, whether you want to disable the emails, or whether you want to send all the emails to the logged in developer or the admin, or whether you want to send it to the selected user, any user from the developer or the admin. And you can also leave it as per the emails defined in the workflows of the app. So similarly, you have the option for the SMS notification. You may disable it completely, or you may leave it to the app specific workflows. Finally, for the push notification, you have the disable push notifications option. You have the login user option, the selected user from the developer or admin. And finally, you have the app specific workflows. So these are all the options available under environments notification settings. And you have the AI models, which will be discussed in our future webinars. So stay tuned for that. Similarly, as we just saw in the development, we have the changes. We will have the changes in the settings of the stage environment too. So since we haven't published the changes, we will not able to see the permission changes directly as per the changes made in the development mode. So you can select the demo user. You can select what type of user you're gonna create, and you can select the permission. So the permission set will differ based on the type of user you select. If it's an application user, we can set roles and all. However, for portal users, we will not have any roles, and hence it's just the permission set. And since it already, the application has a default permission set called customer, we are able to add it here. And after adding and clicking done, we can go to the stage mode of the app and do a refresh. And you can see it here. That is a portal user. Under the portal user, we have the demo user 1. So you can click the demo user 1 and you can see the changes. Like in case if there is any changes, it will be listed here. So since we didn't do any changes for the permission set, they're able to view both the reports and the form. So let's get back to the environment settings for the stage. And similarly, for the stage, we have all the options available in development. That is the email notification, to disable the emails and set it as per your preference, the SMS notification, and for the push notifications. So these are the settings which are available for the development mode, for managing the development mode, and the stage mode of the apps. And the logs or the documentation of the form actions. You can see the message, the details, and the user for whom it is triggered, and the time in which it has been done, and which type of action it is, whether it is a schedule or a form action, etc. So admins and users with at least one environment permission can use logs to check the application's performance, and it will be helpful to keep track of the actions performed in an app as well as in an event of a failure. So now it brings us to the final part of this webinar, which is the frequently answered questions for environments. So we'll start from the first point, that is the user cannot select more than 800 components in a single publish flow. So when we do a publish from development to stage in the apps, we can select the list of changes as per your preference. However, the list of changes count shouldn't exceed 800. You can select up to 800 components. So in case your applications has major changes and there are more than 800 components, we would suggest you to select the list of primary changes, like for example, the form fields, the form names and reports, and not select the workflows in the first version. You can select the workflows in the next step along with the changes, and then you can publish it. So in this way, there won't be any confusion for the developer, so that they can test the changes one by one. That is, first they can test all the basic changes, and then they can check all the complex changes. So the second point is, if publishing process exceeds 30 minutes, the changes will be reverted and it will throw a timeout error. So this is something which is really important, because in some cases, due to network issues, in some cases means it is a very rare case, it happens. And in case of network issues in the client side, or in a very rare case due to the server side, the environment publish can exceed a long time, that is nearly 30 minutes. However, if it exceeds 1 second more than 30 minutes, the changes will be reverted, that is the publish will be reverted, and a timeout error will be thrown. You can initiate the publish again. Now the third point, duplicate records and maximum character length validation. So let me explain this using a small example for you. So let's say we have an application for a school, and we have already made the publish to production, and the students, we are already managing the students' data in the school. So we have a field in the student details form called nicknames. So we have student name and we have a nickname. So what happens is, all these students are like using the same nicknames. Some of the students are using the same nicknames, and some students are giving nicknames very long, like up to 50 characters or 60 characters. So now the school administration is going to apply a rule, that is, no one should have the same nickname, that is, no duplicate record should be available, and no one should have nicknames which exceeds like 25 characters. So in this case, when you make this change in the development mode, the IT team makes this change in the development mode, and the changes will be pushed. However, when you push the changes to the production mode, the system will throw an error, because the feature specifies that no duplicate records should be available. However, there is already some duplicate records available in the live version of the app. So in cases like these, you must make sure to remove the duplicate records first from the live mode, and also remove edit the nicknames which exceed some character length validation. And once it is done, you can push the changes. You can push the new development changes to the live mode of the app. I hope you have understood this third point. And environment enabled apps can only have dependencies with any other environment enabled apps. So yes. So when you add an app to environment, and let's say you select a lookup field, or you embed some pages, or like do a function call from other applications, you can only do it from apps which are added in environments. So you cannot do the change. You cannot add a lookup field from a non-environment app, because the configuration of environment enabled apps and non-environment apps are completely different. So let's go to the next part of the FAQ, which is pre-production apps can utilize up to 20% of all limits from the pricing page. The pre-production apps here mention the development live and stage live. So a user has, let's say a user has an Ultimate Creator license, and they have the provision to make 6,000 webhook calls per day. If that is a limit, they can do 6,000 webhook calls in the production mode of the app. However, in the development and stage mode, only 20% of this production count will be available. That is, they can only do 300 calls in both development and stage combined. So you must inform the team who is doing the testing to maintain the count as per their requirement. So this is the current limit. That is a 20% is a current limit for all the parameters from the pricing page. You can check it. And the customer portal is available only for the production app. So the customer portal is a portal which is you can create it for the external users of an organization. And these you cannot create a customer portal when there is no production mode for an application. So only when you create a production mode, that is when you make the publish from stage to production and a production version is available, only then the customer portal can be created. And finally, data in each of the 3 live modes are stored separately. So the data in the sense is the live data which is maintained in the live version of the apps. So some users tend to import the live data or add the live data in the development mode itself, which is a wastage of time. So you can test it using some few records. However, if you are going to maintain the live data for the processes of the business, we would recommend you to add it only in the production version, because when you publish the changes from development to stage and stage to production, the data stored in the reports will not be migrated. Only the changes, that is the development changes, will be migrated. So you must make sure that the data is maintained separately and stored separately based on the. So that ends us the FAQs. That brings us to the end of the webinar. I sincerely appreciate your attention today, and I would like to say thank you. If anyone has any questions, I would be happy to open up the discussion. Please feel free to ask your questions in the question tab. So you may post your questions directly in the question tab, and we will be happy to answer you. So we will wait until the users post their questions and we can discuss on that. So I hope you all have a clear understanding of usage of environments in Zoho Creator. And you can scan this QR code and submit your feedback about the session. So we really appreciate your feedback. You can use the URL, which is posted in the chat. You can copy it from there and you can submit your survey. Thank you all for joining the session. Again, you can start using Creator for free using this link. You can sign up and we will provide you a 15-day free trial. You can sign up and explore the Creator features, and you can always contact us at support@zohocreator.com or solutions@zohocreator.com, and we'll get back to you at the earliest possible. Thank you again for joining the session. Have a great day.